Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for swinging by to Carry On, a channel where I hope to share my collective experiences throughout my 4 years as an undergraduate pre-med student. Today, we'll talk about the pre-med roadmap, what it takes to make sure you're a competitive applicant whenever you want to be.
In this video, I hope to clear up the time between your first entering college and your eventual matriculation to medical school.
If you're looking for a broader scope of information, please check out my blog, livecarryon.com, where I detail my strategies for maximizing your time as a student. Without further ado, let's get started. It's no secret that getting to medical school isn't easy. There are 15 core competencies that the AAMC, the governing body for U.S. medical schools, require that all successful medical school applicants have. They include things like living systems and human behavior, which you may imagine can be demonstrated by your GPA or MCAT scores, but also values such as oral and written communication, ethical responsibility to self and others, and capacity for improvement. In the description box below, I've left the link for all 15 competencies for you to explore. I share this with you not to scare you. When it comes time for you to apply, I guarantee that you will all exhibit these values in one way or another. The purpose of this video, though, is to help you plan out your years so you can become the applicant you want when you want. More often than not, I find many of my pre-med colleagues missing a single class before they can comfortably study for the MCAT, or missing a letter of recommendation to really round out their application. After this video, though, that's not going to be you. I've always found it easiest to work backwards from a goal, include all the non-negotiable things, and then fill in the rest of the information as necessary. As a disclaimer, I'm going to assume you understand the medical school application process and what the MCAT consists of. I'm definitely looking for more video ideas, so if any of these topics are of interest to you, pause the video now and feel free to comment below so I can start working on it. For most starry-eyed incoming freshmen and sophomores, the goal is to start medical school right after you graduate. That is, to take no gap year. I'm a big fan of high aspirations, so that's what we're going to shoot for in this video. But at the end, I'll offer an important nuance, so please keep watching if you're planning on 1, 2, or more gap years. Say you were successful in matriculating into medical school right after college. You'd start the summer immediately after you graduate. Again, this is for no gap year students. To get this acceptance and earn that seat in medical school, though, you would have had to apply. This includes submitting your primary application, submitting your secondary application, and completing your interviews during the spring of your third year. Your primary application would be turned in around the beginning of June. You'd churn through your secondaries all through the summer. And in the fall and winter of your senior year, while you're still enrolled in university, you'd fly around the country and conduct interviews. If you're successful, again, you'd start the summer right after you graduate. In order to even apply that third year, though, you have to have your application in order. You want to make sure you're the most competitive applicant you can be, so you don't run the risk of having to apply again the year after. A competitive applicant, again, let me know if you want me to flesh this out in further detail in another video, but a competitive applicant consists largely of 3 things. 1, academic ability. 2, medical or clinical experience. And 3, non-medical experience. Let's go back to number 1, academic ability. By the time you apply, you want to have earned a competitive GPA and a competitive MCAT score. This shows admissions committees that you'll be able to handle the academic rigors of the medical school curriculum. 2, medical or clinical experience. This shows that you understand the lifestyle of a physician, that you understand generally what a clinic or hospital setting entails. Medicine is an extremely gratifying road, but it is long and difficult. Everyone, students and admissions committees alike, all want to make sure that you understand what you're applying into. Non-medical experience. This has grown increasingly important over the years because it's crucial that there is more to you than just being a pre-med robot. This category will show admissions committees that you will be a doctor and something else. Okay, let's go back to the academic ability category because it helps us outline a little bit more of our timeline. Let's home in on the MCAT. If you take the MCAT before you apply, of course, you'll be good to go. With that being said, I think there are better times than others to take the exam. Say you're applying during the spring quarter of your junior year. You probably don't want to take the MCAT while you're still in school because studying for the exam is a considerable time commitment and it may affect your GPA. As we continue backwards in the timeline looking for an optimal place, it looks like the best place to take it is the summer after your second year, right before you start fall quarter of your third year. But, of course, as you know, you'll have to prepare extensively to take this exam. Before you even start dedicating time to prepare for the MCAT, you'll have wanted to finish a couple of core courses at your university. These courses include 1 year of biology, 1 year of general chemistry, 1 year of organic chemistry, 1 year of physics, and 1 semester of biochemistry. Some of these courses will be more important than others in preparing for the MCAT. Overall, though, taking them at your university will probably set you up so that you can adequately prepare when it comes time to take the exam. Make sure that your course schedule can accommodate all of these science classes in such a packed amount of time. It'll be difficult, but by planning it, you ensure that you don't run into any surprises. Just looking at academics alone, that's a fair amount to complete by your third year. Don't forget now that medical school is growing increasingly competitive, and the more successful applicants are more than just numbers. These applicants have developed significant relationships with professors and community leaders, and that's earned them great letters of recommendation. They have extensive community service and volunteer work. They've shadowed physicians and displayed leadership in some way or another. Some have teaching experience, some have significant research experience, some do other things. The point is, though, you can paint your application the way you want, but you have to be convincing, and more importantly, you have to be convincing by the end of your third year by the time you apply. Overwhelmed yet? I sure was when I made this plan. But I stand here today as one example that it's all possible with the right amount of planning. Even if you don't have time on your side, say you're already a second or a third year, and this schedule may not be possible, don't worry at all. In fact, I encourage you to take your time and enjoy the process. From personal experience, I'm extremely excited, I'm stoked to get the opportunity to go straight into medical school. But I'm also envious of people who take time off. These are the people who earn money to help with medical school tuition. These are the people who travel the world. These are the people who teach third grade or work on fascinating research projects. No matter what you choose, it'll have its own pros and cons. But don't ever feel like you're behind because you didn't go straight through to medical school. In fact, you don't have to take it from me. Take it from everyone else who's in medical school. The average age of a matriculant to medical school is now 24 years old, which means the average amount of gap years is 2 to 3. If you need or simply want those gap years, just bump everything in our timeline down the appropriate amount of years, and you'll find that everything becomes much more manageable. And that's it for today. Thanks for sticking with me throughout this long video, and I hope you learned something that you can take forward with you. Getting to medical school is a long and stressful process, and I hope that I can share my experiences so that you can get there with a whole lot less stress.